Microphone's on. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. I think we're going to get right into it today. Switch over to get the S codes going. Hey, it all just popped right up. Sweet. Alright, let's work on the room manager a little bit. This is what's going to control the logic of each room when players go into it. Now, I haven't actually decided yet. Since, theoretically, this is going to be peer-to-peer. You can have two independent players running on a level at the same time. They can either travel together or just go on be their bad selves and see how that goes. So the room manager has to be able to manage that properly. Maybe not today, but we'll see. So we're going to look at room manager specifically. Started working on this a little bit this morning and hashing it out. Shush. So it's going to control all the doors, enemy spawning, and the enemy waves, which might be its own module. It's going to detect player occupancy in a room and track the room state. And room state is going to be haven't been visited, things are going down, or we're clear and it's inactive going forward. So right now I'm looking at the door control, and I'm just kind of feeling this out. So I want control of the doors. I almost want all logic in the room manager. So I might have to move the door logic into the room manager and let it open and close the doors. right architecture? Or should the door systems be tied to the room manager? What does that benefit me? Do I gain anything doing that? That's one. That's the current architecture. Or we could do that. That might be cleaner. I mean, it's a sizable refactor, but it might make more sense. Primarily, the room manager won't have to go through the room to get access to the doors and control them. That makes more sense, since the room manager is going to directly control the doors and also needs to see their status. All right, talk myself into it. I don't want to add child specifically, that's an override. This is annoying, where I can't see my cursor because of OBS. right now. That's not entirely, but because of the init function, the room manager has access to all the doors. Okay. So I like the way room actor is set up. Door system's got a lot of logic in it. Am I still using trigger? Oh, they're actor args. So they're called trigger options, but they're actually actor args because as door zone is an actor. Yep. I think. Yeah. Okay. See what the door has in it. Door has state, locked side, shape. I'm okay with that. And it just manages. It just manages. So there's no. There's getters and setters. I think I need these because I'm going to control it. The moving state exists. I'm just not using it. What? That's what I get for cleaning things up. Door zone. So this is the trigger. That's all it does. All right, cool. I almost wanted to emit an event. So I need to create door events, which is in my custom emitter group, custom emitter manager. I can add it to actor events. I have a door trigger there. How about I just use that? It's not this. It's step parent. I have a reference to the door. I have a reference to the room. Oh, that's where I can tell it the door system is sweet because it's got the actual logic in it. of chowders today. I think that can stay. Turn the music down a little bit. I don't know if y'all can hear me over the music, but I imagine I broke a lot trying this. So let's test it out. The victory here would be not breaking the game. See? And I know the answer to this because I'm not subscribed to any trigger emissions. This. I need to change the custom emitter. I need a door and a person. Shrink this down a little bit. was I doing? Where's my cursor? Sometimes I hate streaming. Custom actor event bus. Why? Why is this a problem? Yeah. See if this works now. Oop. No. So need to quiet down mini-map a little bit. No. No. Hey, how's it going? Wrist tricks. Thanks for joining today. like garbage. Not bad. Just quiet Sunday, getting some coding done. All right, so trigger emitted, and it got the trigger. It's a win. Why did it get 7 triggers or something like that? It only emitted once. That's weird. Oh, no. It's one for every door, room manager. It's one for every room. That's okay. But I'm getting the signal. The data's getting in. So this is janky, but let's start walking our way. Yep. I do remember, and I don't remember how long ago we talked about this. Oh, cool. I'd like to see that sometime, if you have something to share. I wrote a headless Excalibur. So I wrote the server side that took all the client browser rendering specific stuff out of it. So I call it headless Excalibur. What I don't have is the rendering side of the engine for the client. So very curious of what you came up with there. And if you want on the Discord, you can share it with me because you can't post links here. But I am very curious to see what you've done. Okay. No rush, man. That'll be awesome. It's on my list of things to do to create the rendering side. Basically, I was looking to split Excalibur. So you have the back end and then the ECS, essentially. You have the ECS and then just the rendering portion of it. Might need help with that. So, very excited, looking forward to that. Thank you. All right, so it's not passing the has hallway check. Let's try this. Where's my has hallway check? Oh, stop. It's on the door. Oh. It's on the... I don't remember that. Yep, okay. This might be why it's not working. Okay. Cannot read property undefined has hallway. What? All right. Oh, it is a door. What? Oh, because I'm... Okay, TypeScript let me down here. It's supposed to be a door system. No, I'm passing the door. All right. No, that's my fault. All right. So that gets the door system passed into Room Manager. Yes. Door system. Okay, so the trigger's happening. Clean that up. Okay. Did I get it here? I didn't get it here. Maybe... Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I do have a room ID. Or did I get rid of it? Oh, there's a room ID. Yes, I did. We will get to the bottom of this. Okay, so it found the door system for this door. That's good. There's the door. There's the zone. Has hallways false. Why is has hallway false? Because it has a hallway. What did I break? Hey, that's awesome. Welcome. Appreciate that. Got a new follower. Okay, let's test this out. I thought I made a change. Oh, yeah. So it's only player. Wall collider group. Okay. I mean, that should work. And the way I'll test this is... should just load with. This is rooms 35. NTS 119. No, I did. All right. It's like the only time the hallway isn't interacting with the room. Now, why would that change? Yeah, okay. I done broken something. Fiddle faddle. I think I'm going to take a quick break, get another cup of coffee, and we'll get back into it. Give me just a sec. answers that question. Hallway actors. What to do about this? What's up there? Oh, it's the UI. Okay. Scared me. So why is that collision not happening anymore? Oh. I know why. It's not hitting a hallway collider. On the hallway. It's in door system. Has hallway. The door system has the hallway. Alright. Okay. Room manager is not going to say the zone has hallway. Try this out. I'm the greatest coder alive. It's the little things. Cool. And that is now the room manager controlling doors. Alright, sweet. Now what? We got that mystery solved. Let's do a quick playthrough, make sure nothing's broken. With my gamepad. Oh, no, let's take the debug off. Boop, boop. Everything looks pretty good. Collect the key. Unlock the door. It didn't unlock. What controls? That's the actual door. Not the door system. Because it has its shape. Ah, set lock state. That's dumb. try that. Do I have a locked door? Yeah, I do. Yeah, muy bueno. Oh, I need to get the other key. See, that's a bug. Need to fix that. So if it's in a moving state and you collide, it should override the moving state and cancel that action. Boop. Boss room. No bosses yet. And the exit. Okay. But that's not awful. All right, let's work on managing player occupancy. So it knows when it's player occupancy, so it knows when a player comes in, and if it's in an active state, basically change state to active. What does the contains do? It uses a collider. API actor contains. Might be able to use that. How should I do this? I mean, a lazy way would be periodically testing to see if a player's in the room. Hey, Koala. Thanks for joining. And thanks for messaging me. Having a lot of fun here, man. So on initialization, just adding an occupancy check for a room. We'll do a play test here in a second so you can see what that means. Let's check once a second. Set interval. Alright, so let's call a function that basically does that. Check for player occupancy. I don't want to pass just a player because basically you could have two players. Basically should look for all player entities. Get players scene entities. Basically I want a list, so filter. Room manager is an actor. No, it's not. Ooh. This dot room. Not exactly. I don't have a name picked out yet. It's a Smash TV clone, not a clone per se, but drew heavy inspiration from Smash TV, and it was supposed to be like a space horror genre, and so I always said it was Smash TV meets like Dead Space. So that's kind of where I'm going. Not necessarily a roguelike, but kind of just an arcade shoot 'em up. So you just see how long. It's almost just a matter of survival, and the levels are procedurally generated. They get harder, the enemies get tougher until you die. So you just kind of see how long you last. The key is it has a single player mode, or it's going to be peer-to-peer multiplayer. Yeah, cool. Appreciate that. We'll see. It's a good idea. You know, ideas are cheap. See what we can do with them. Nope. There. All right. So players dot for each. Do I want to do a for each here? No, I'm not going to do a for each. Just a for. Because if I find one, I'll break. Yes. Yeah. If you've ever played Dead Space, if you haven't played Dead Space, go out and play Dead Space. It was practically like Resident Evil in space. or what it really reminded me of is the movie. Was it the movie Event Horizon? So it was very left a lasting impression on me. So yeah, so you're gonna have this space engineer essentially, or just it's a dude that goes around and enters different levels of a spaceship. And so the art is going to be like an abandoned spaceship, and it's going to be like something very bad and demonic happened on the spaceship, and there's no one's left except for all these different alien types. And there's boss battles and stuff like that. If contains so my thought for this was there's going to be three states of music. So if you're not like in the midst of an enemy swarm, it's a very chilling, empty, ambient. And then an active enemy wave is almost could be EDM, something just, you know, to change the to go from a creepy emotional state to a frantic one. And I was planning, and I've actually purchased an off-the-shelf sound pack that just had some heavy metal riffs in it. I thought that might be a good tone, but I haven't tried any of it out. I haven't tested any out, but the third the third state is boss battle. Oh, and then between levels. So I guess there's a fourth state. Yeah, quiet and desolate, eerie. Second state is an enemy wave, which is a little bit more frantic, pulse pounding, which is also the same tone of the boss, but boss needs to just have a more ominous and grandiose feel to it, maybe building up to a higher crescendo. And then the fourth state, I don't know if you caught that, is the you finish the level, there's the level summary, and it's just some looping um, gives hope, I guess. The third is it's an enemy wave still, but with the boss involved, and so it's a boss battle state, which is an enemy wave state, the frantic, pulsing, fast music, but maybe with a more the your classic boss battle crescendos or something like this, something that builds. So it just I don't know. in my head it makes perfect sense, but it's hard to like verbalize this stuff. Let's try this out. All right, I'm gonna play test this. I need to have the console open. Okay, well that's not good. Let's solve that first. How could is room a room actor? How does a room actor not have a scene? I know it can be null, but it shouldn't be null. Just log this. Okay, stop. Why is it a window? What? Oh, because it loses this context. So this do I have to bind this? Does that work here? Is that? Can we just RM? Oh, nope. So this dot room dot scene should just be room. Does it matter the genre, or is it open? I mean, nothing's not set in stone. And when you mean genre, genre of music or genre of game? And thank you on the map system. I spent 2 days on that, and that right now it's more of a debugging tool. But it'll eventually not have fog of war, but basically it'll only right now it gives me color codes. So I mean, I can look at the map and tell what the level is. Like orange is your starting, yellow's keys, purple's treasure rooms, the red and black is the boss room and the exit room, and blue is just a general purpose room. With that, when you're in the final state of the game, you won't have all that information available. So it'll track it as you go. Oh, genre of music. Um, I'm thinking it would either be EDM or house or heavy metal, either one. Um, but I'm not dead set on anything, so I'm open to suggestions. Very good, very nice. Cinematic metal rock, as it sounds. Can you send me a link to some of the stuff you've done? Do you have that online, like on Discord? Just DM me. You can't send it on. I have links disabled on Twitch, but I'm gonna take that enemy entity. It's in game. Thank you. Very nice. I'll listen to them in a bit, probably off stream. All right, where am I at now? What do I want to get done? What am I working on? Oh, checking for player occupancy. Well, that doesn't bode well. So there is a player. Okay, this is working. Player global pause, I bet, is what I need. Let's try that. Um, since COVID, so goodness, it's been 5 years now. Over the COVID quarantine, I bought myself um, a Udemy course for Christmas that of 2020. It's kind of when I started learning like JavaScript and things like that. It's a long story, but then I got involved with a couple Discord groups, Game Dev Shift, which basically helped me learn JavaScript, but they did it via um, game development. So, and then I met Eric, who created Excalibur JS, and I've been using Excalibur ever since. I'm a core contributor now for Excalibur JS. So, yeah, I can't believe it's been 5 years. I think this is the biggest thing that I've tried to do so far. This doesn't necessarily, yeah. And I mean, I'm one of the few people where being on lockdown I was perfectly fine with it. I'd be on lockdown still if I'd let myself, but I have to go into the office a couple days a week. But yeah, it gave me something to do, something to learn, and I really enjoy it. Why isn't that check working? I'll tell you what, this is what I'll do. I need to move the debugger to the test. That doesn't make any sense. So sense. So the player is not a child of a room, so its position should be global position because it's in the scene. Let's try this again. Metroidvania games. Last Metroidvania game I played was Hollow Knight, which I haven't finished, but I really enjoyed that. I don't know, my favorite game is Skyrim. Um, for all time. I'm currently playing Harry Potter's Hogwarts Legacy and enjoying that. Also, I have my NCAA 25 and Star Wars Outlaws. So that's kind of where my favorite genres are landing right now. Civ 7 is on my must buys. So between Civ and Skyrim, those are probably my top games. Which Metroidvania you been playing lately? $99.50. I need to look up. Open file. Nope, I bet you it's in recent. Actor. Nope, it's not. I lied. Excalibur. Actor.ts. Oh, Symphony of the Night. That's like one of the all-time greats. So I remember the original Castlevania. I played that a bit when I was a kid. And then I haven't spent a ton of time with Castlevania specifically since, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I hear a lot of people talk about the different games in the series. Okay. Well, if I get an opportunity, I'll take a look at them. I appreciate it. I love any kind of suggestions like that. I just bought Caves of Cud and Dwarf Fortress. So when I'm not on my PS5, I'm playing those. I'm really into procedural generation, which is actually use generative grammars to do the level building. in this game, which I'm pretty proud of, to be honest. It's not perfect, but it's close. So that's why I got into both Caves of Cut and Dwarf Fortress, because they're kind of like the pinnacle of procedural generation. My goal, of course, is replayability, is one of my design pillars. I want somebody just to be able to play this over and over, and it's never the same game twice. What's the difference between contains and within? Yeah, I think within is a better call. Let me play with it. I know. How do I need to use... I shouldn't have closed that. How do I use the distance? I think I'll add on Discord. See how that works. Yeah, it is an extremely complex simulator. Like, there is just a lot going on in there. So if you're into that kind of simulations, it's worth checking out. But from a procedural generation, it's just a masterpiece as far as the technical accomplishments that they pull off. So I got it just for that, so I could see how like the map generation was just fantastic. So collider.get closest line between. So it looks like the within. Yeah, they're amazing. I don't know if within's gonna cut it. Yes, that's what I meant. Let's try this out. Okay. I didn't know I was stepping into it, but it is what it... Oh, good grief. Come on. I'm assuming that means it failed. Yeah, so far there's just one big fundamental difference where the entire scene was each room, and then you had these sliding transitions like Zelda-like, which we actually developed a standard transition in Excalibur to essentially do that Zelda transition. But for me, I wanted the person not to be able to. I wanted them to traverse from room to room, and the actual journey between rooms through the hallway should have a little bit of tension in them, as like what's in this next room, kind of. And so, um, I'll probably hide the rooms as they go until they've been seen, and then it's kind of a fog of war type. So when you open up the doors into the room, then everything is revealed. And again, uh, Smash TV, the big fundamental difference is the peer-to-peer is going to be essentially, they're going to be operating completely independently within the level. So they can work together and go to room together, or they can split up and clear the level, which would be harder, I would think, because I think the enemy waves are going to be set up so if there's two people, that the waves are going to be stronger. So they'll have an incentive to work together and watch each other's back. But I'm doing the solo portion of the game first to get a lot of the mechanics, the systems and mechanics in place. And then when I have basically a playable horizontal slice of the game, I'll start coding up the peer-to-peer server. There's gonna be something else, I'll be honest with you. But I've done it before. It's just hard. Yeah, the key is sticking with it. So that's hard. What I lose a lot of time on art. And so that's why I'm just going to primitive, just shapes, making it playable. I'll add sound effects. I think that really adds a lot. And I wrote a sound effects generation plugin for Excalibur, so I'll just use that to generate the sound effects. But there's a lot to put in this before we get into like some serious play testing. This is not working. Let's check for player occupancy. I mean, contains should work. try again. Let's test it. At least step through it. This is 350, 250, and player position is 350, 250. So this should be true. And it's not. That's what blows my tiny little mind. So here's contains. Yeah, I have a very specific vision for what this is going to look like. Because I even wrote the beginnings of a lighting system for Excalibur, just a general purpose lighting system that me and I've been working with Eric, the author of Excalibur JS, on getting implemented. And I can picture this being a dark, and a lot of lighting effects, and maybe even some like volumetric dust to set a real good narrative, environmental tone, like isolation, like think of the original Alien movies. You're on the ship with something on it and it's hunting you, that kind of feeling. It's like Smash TV meets Dead Space. This should work, but it's using the collider, which is the same reason why I had to. All right, I'm gonna have to write my own. So contains actor. No, not use contains. And I did it on hallway. Let's look at how hallway did it, because it works. I don't have a rotation, so I don't need to do what's point? Oh, let point equal, it's a vector. Going to be on X, it's going to be plus 350 minus 350 and then 250. Yeah, that's right. So room manager will now contains actor. Players in room. And then it should stop saying that if I leave the room. That's not good. Why is it still saying that? Well, every time I get stuck on a piece of code, I take a, yeah, I like the movement. The doors are pretty nice too. That can change, of course, but it works for the playtesting. Serves its purpose. I'm going to take a quick break, get a refill on coffee, throw away my yogurt, and I'll be back in a second while I think about what I'm doing wrong here. Not a terrible idea. That wouldn't be too hard to do. think that's not, let me put it this way. It's probably not MVP. That's not playable demo stuff, but that's juice. That I'll add that for in polishing. I don't think that's a terrible idea. Now, back to why in the world this isn't working. Oh, that is so stupid. That is so stupid. There's no way that would always pass true. That's so dumb. Let's try this out. Player in room. Guess what? No more player in room. Player in room. Yeah. Yeah, I did a happy dance. All right, so now that a room knows when a player's in it, the room manager can lock the door, shut the doors, lock them, start the enemy waves. Yeah. All right. What's next? So, so it only checks for occupancy if it's inactive. That'll be cool if I have one. It's kind of jank, but I have one. One tick. kind of what I'm going with at the moment. And then I have a sprite sheet for 8 directional movement with and without weapon. And I'll probably use some shaders on it to do, like, player 1 will be the blue, player 2 will be red, and I'll just tint the accents. And then when they're holding a weapon, so the weapon, thank you, I appreciate that. The weapon will stay the same, but the muzzle flash will change with the different weapons. And I got the weapons planned out. Smash. This is my game design doc here. I use PowerPoint for my game planning. Oh, yeah, here's the drops. So it'll be a spreader weapon, a grenade launcher, drone, shield, rockets, shotgun. And so they'll just have different muzzle flashes to distinguish when you're wielding. There'll be a standard, and then it'll change if you have a special weapon. Like the shield and the drone won't have a separate muzzle flash, because they'll be external actors. Yeah, here's the game architecture. It's like a room engine. It's not an occupancy check. I want to change the name of that. So there's the framework of the room management engine. Right. But it's for readability. I suppose I should just... Thank you for sending that. I'll check that out. See how this works. That'll be fun to test. Unless, one thing, if it's a start, I don't want the starting room to do this. So, should leave the starting room alone. Or the exit room. You know, I appreciate it. You know, I'll probably be looking to do something if this gets to that point. You know, one of my bucket list items is to release a game on Steam. I can see this possibly being a candidate for that. But unless I was deliberately trying to generate revenue off the game, like through the play testing and the continued development, it grew legs and got a lot of favorable feedback. If it meets those conditions, then I'll say, all right, let's I'll make an investment in probably artwork and sound effects and music to kind of take that next step. But until I get to that point, I candidly don't see myself making that investment. Until it seems like it's commercially viable, even if it broke even. I don't. The goal isn't to retire off of this. I'm really looking to just check the box so I can have something on Steam and say, look, I did that. That'd be worth investing in. But it'd be hard to explain to the wife, like saying, hey, I want to pay this amount of money for this game I'm making that's not going to do anything. She'd look at me like I was nuts, and deservedly so. But we're a long ways from that is kind of what I'm thinking. I have to play this. Oh, that worked. I shouldn't be able to. I can't get out of the room. So the room locks down, and it'll lock until unlock conditions are met. I need to put the unlock conditions in. And it's two different kinds of lock. It's not just, because if I had a key, so if the room's active, that's the unlock code. Thank you. I really appreciate that. If room state, yeah, don't know it. So that takes care of that. I need to put an unlock condition in. I'm adding in the wave state. try to do it weekly, but I haven't been very good about that. Kind of, I have essentially Sunday morning blocked off. I slept in today. So it's mostly on the weekends because this is not my 9 to 5. So it's usually probably going to be Saturday morning, Sunday morning. But I really appreciate you spending the time this morning. Good conversation. I appreciate the engagement. And I hope to see you again. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, man. I would think Twitch pings you if I start streaming, but if not, if I remember, I'll hit you up on Discord. So thank you. Till next time, man. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by today. That's how that's going to work. So how am I going to test this out? Uh-oh. What'd I break? Why isn't it opening the door? was a bug. Something's not happening. Oh. What's my logic here? What is my logic here? This is my logic. This should work. Should. Two, three, four. Hey, that worked. That's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't hate it. And it shouldn't do it on the exit room. It should just... And I should be able to go back and it not lock me down. Once it's cleared, it's cleared. Don't hate it. Don't hate it at all. Alright, is there anything I'm missing out of this? Controls the doors. So I need to get the enemy spawning. Player occupancy is done and tracks room state. That's done. For each room type. Cold. Alright. It's been 2.5 hours. That's a pretty good stream today. I think I'm going to shut her down until next week. But hey, appreciate everybody who joined today. We got 3 viewers at the moment. I appreciate y'all being here. But seems like a good stopping point. It's 1 o'clock. Need to eat some lunch, stuff like that. So very good. Well, signing off. Appreciate it. Hope to see you next time. Don't be afraid to hit me up on the socials. Spend a lot of time on Discord. So I'll talk to you guys later.